6 News.
A healthy teenager finds out he has a bone infection, and then doctors find something even worse. That was more than a year ago. Tonight, Tom Pippins wants you to meet the young man who has a new lease on life and is playing the game he loves.
On a beautiful day in the Milwaukee area, there is nothing like just hitting a few golf balls on the range. Easy to take something like this for granted, especially if you're a sophomore in high school. But as you meet Charlie Burton, you'll realize why he doesn't take even this for granted anymore. Charlie Burton plays on the University School of Milwaukee co-ed golf team. Look at that smooth swing. You'd never know how much he's been through until you see the scar on his right arm.
It's a cadaver bone held in with a metal plate.
And hear his father explain everything that his teenager has had to endure.
The cancer is called Ewing sarcoma. It's a bone cancer that is very uncommon, but is one of the 2 most common types of bone cancer in kids. It is most commonly seen in teenagers and most often presents on long bones like humerus, arm bone, which was Charlie's case.
Charlie Burton went through 9 months of chemotherapy. 3 months in, he underwent surgery.
That involved removing the tumor, which was on his humerus bone, and removing most of his humerus from above the elbow to below the shoulder. That was removed, and then an allograft is sort of the medical term, but it's really a donor bone or a cadaver bone, was transplanted in place of the bone that was taken out, and then a metal plate was inserted and some screws were put in to secure it at the top and bottom of the arm.
I didn't think too much of it at first. I didn't know really all that was involved in it, but we were all pretty scared since we didn't really have much of an idea of what it was. Recovery was pretty bad, but it wasn't too bad after a while. After about 2 weeks, we stopped taking painkillers for it, and then it was fine after that.
Charlie Burton will never be mistaken for one of the big men up front on the University School football team. But he's as tough as any one of those fellas, and his winning attitude was a tonic for his entire family.
It helped a lot to just stay positive through it because it would come to an end at some point, even though it seems like a long time.
His attitude was always just sort of subtly confident and rarely pessimistic or down. Just kind of do what I have to do and get through it, and things will work out. But it also helped us, or me, or both parents from really being too down ourselves when he basically wasn't.
Imagine Charlie's spirits when the great folks at the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Wisconsin made it possible for him to travel with his dad to the NCAA basketball men's Final Four in Atlanta.
It was amazing. It was a really great experience, and I was glad I could go.
How neat was it to share it with your dad?
It was a good experience for both of us since he's a huge college basketball fan, and he's who got me into college basketball in the first place.
Charlie says he has a greater appreciation for how much he loves the game of golf, and he is very thankful to be back in the swing of things.
There we go.
He's not the only one.
I was excited to see him come out for golf, and even more excited to see that, you know, yes, it's affected his game a little bit, but certainly not very much, not something that he can't overcome. He's got an excellent swing, he's got a great attitude. So we're out here. He's had a long recovery, so with all those things factored in, I'm thrilled where he's at, and I hope he is too.
Truth is, Charlie's a humble young man who wasn't thrilled with being the focus of this story. He agreed to do it with the hope that sharing his trial might help encourage or inspire somebody within the sound of his voice.
It's a good feeling to know that you can give other people hope, just to stay positive and know that it won't be like that forever, and you will get through it.
Tom Pippins, Fox 6 Sports.
Charlie will have bone scans every 3 months for the next 2 years, but right now his prognosis looks great.
That is fantastic.
It is good. It's great. 2,000 Polish sausages spilled all over Miller Park.
Why people rush to gobble them up. Plus, houses collapsing all over one town. Look